Hi everyone, I'm going to show you a little landscape today, all in one colour. I'm going to use ultramarine blue and then I might wash over at the end. So I've got a Saunders water bit, it's 5 by 7 inches, 3 brushes, a round number 10, a round number 6 and a rigger, and my Cotman palette which is linked in the description. So I'm going to come on, and we're going to go halfway. And this is all about the dilution of the paint to create the tone. So I'm using a round number 10, loading my brush up with water and then coming straight into the ultramarine blue. I'm going to start to get a light wash on here. Then I'm going to dip back in and bring in some darker clouds. So circular motion, still using my round number 10, pushing down to control the paint. It's a nice effect. I'm going to swap down to a number 6. Pick up some really nice thick ultramarine blue. I need some water on, but I can dab a little bit off. And then we can start to come in to create some trees. Make that a bit thicker. See a really nice flow. It just shows you only need one colour and you can create a really lovely picture. So I'm dabbing in here to start to create a bit of a tree there. Okay, I'm going to dry that one off. Okay, so that's nicely dry now. So I'm going to start to come into this bottom section now. I am thinking I'm going to have a little bit of water in here, so I'm going to wet. It can be a little river coming through. Wet the water first. This is with my round number 10. I'm going to come into the ultramarine blue and just do a few horizontal strokes, left to right or right to left. Then I'll need to swap down to my number 6. Pick up a little bit more colour. I'm going to bring this towards the bank. You can stroke out from that. That'll give a really nice shadow. And then a little bit this side, the same. Make sure that your water is getting wider as it comes towards you. That's going to give you a nice sense of perspective. Make it a little bit wider here. Just with a bit more of the darker blue. So I've got some nice water there, and then I'm going to reflect a little bit of that tree into here. It's a little bit of a reflection here. And I'm going to put another tree in. I know we can't see this tree yet, but I can add a little bit of a reflection into the water. It just makes the water a bit more interesting. You've got a few reflections in here. I'm going to pop in some sort of tree or shrub there as well. So I'll dry that one off. Okay, so that's nicely dry. So I'm sticking with my round number 6 now. I'm just going to take a little bit of water into each of these sections and then nice light colour onto there. So just filling in that section. It doesn't matter if you don't quite get the water everywhere, because these are little sections, you can come on a bit more with dry. Just going to bring that through. Then we want to pop in a little bit of a shrub or tree here. If it goes higher, don't worry, that's fine, because we can put some harder branches in later anyway. And then if you just bring a little bit either side, that's a nice reflection there. And then dipping into the ultramarine again, I'm just going to stroke up to start to just create a little bit of grass on that side. Okay, so if I load this brush up and then I hold it flat, I'm not going to cover all of this tree, but I'm going to just put in some dry brushing. So tonally this is going to be darker because it's going on to dry. I'm holding the brush flat, I'm scraping the paper, and I'm creating this tree below this tree, the reflection of the tree. If I pick up a rigger, I can just pop in a little bit of a trunk as well. So it's onto this bank, that side. And then you've got this one behind that's in the distance as well. If I take some nice thick colour onto my rigger and come through, just create a bit more of a shrub here as well. So it's just showing you how you can do these different things tonally. Then I'm going to pop a few more grasses with the rigger, because it's just starting to dry now, so you're going to get a bit more definition there, but the paint's not too wet, so it's not going to watermark it. I'll go back to my number 6. Then I can just bring in a little bit more. I've twizzled a little bit because it's easier for me to do the wiggle. A little bit more on this reflection and a little bit more on this reflection, a bit more of a wiggle. Then I can bring in some wiggly lines. This is with my number 6. I am keeping it horizontal, so by setting at this angle, it's good for me for it to be horizontal. Don't want it to be too strong. You're just putting in some horizontal lines to break the surface of this water. Looks like a cool snowy scene now. Okay, so I'm going to dry that off. Okay, so you should always make sure it's thoroughly dry. I use a hairdryer to dry mine off, and then make sure it's warm to the touch. So what we're going to do now is we're going to wash on some diluted colour, and we're going to bring it to life. So what I've got here is a little bit of sap green, and I'm going to come on to these grassy areas. And just wash through on this grassy bank. So make sure the colour's quite diluted, because you just want to still see the tone underneath. If you're using a paper that lifts easily, you're going to have to be really careful doing this, but Saunders Waterford cotton paper tends to soak the paint up and works really nicely. I'm going to take in a little bit of cadmium yellow onto this one as well, so just to make it a little bit different. So if I take a bit of burnt sienna into that sap green to make more of a natural looking green, I'm going to come along this back. Whilst it's still wet, I want it to blend in to start to create a little bit more shadow. So this is with my round number 10, nice and quick. And then I can use the same flat brush technique to come over this tree. It's magic really how it does it. You just get some really lovely tone in here underneath. I'm going to use that same colour just over this bit as well, and not take too many colours on. This is just an exercise for you to start to learn how you can use tone. And then if I pick up a little bit of burnt umber or sepia or ultramarine and burnt sienna, they all make a nice dark brown. Just bring a bit of brown into here. A little bit into this tree. It's a bit further in the distance as well. I might just whip some of this through here just to lift that front section as well, and a little bit just down here for a bit more shadow. Now you can also take in a little bit of the green where you've got the reflection in the water. I'll just blend that brown through a little bit there as well. Okay, I'll dry that one off. Okay, so I've taken the tape off. I'm just going to add a little bit more to this tree because it looks a bit unfinished. So I am using burnt umber. I'm just going to bring through a few little branches. And then I'm also going to put up a little bit more in here. You can see tonally how much darker this is. This is just the burnt umber coming in. I'm going to pick up my number 6, just because I want to add a bit more to these trees. Just make this colour a little bit darker. So this is sap green with a little bit of ultramarine. And just bring through, again dry brushing. Just need a bit more body. And then lastly, I'm just going to pop in a few extra grasses. This is quite a simple exercise for you, but it's a really useful exercise. Not everything has to be a fantastic picture at the end of it. Tonally, it's showing you how you can create these shadows and you can do a picture all in one colour. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Please do like, subscribe and share, and I shall see you next time. Bye.